All right, what is the hardest thing to do in sports? Now, Arnie and I have, for as long as we've known each other, agreed that the answer is hitting a round baseball, throwing it 90 miles an hour with a round bat, which, of course, is just basically hitting a ball in Major League Baseball.
Not really even at 90 miles an hour, just hitting that ball from a round bat, because you have to know what kind of pitch is coming. Sometimes it's 90, sometimes it's 98, sometimes it's 81 miles an hour.
So do we still agree on that?
That's my number one.
I mean, I've been watching sports, playing sports, taking up golf. I still agree that would be the hardest thing to do in sports. Now, the USA Today has put together their list of the top 10 hardest things to do in sports. And again, just so everybody clear, we're talking about the mundane, everyday parts of the game. So that nobody's confused. Like when we first talked about this a few weeks ago, Nick said hitting a hole-in-one in golf. Well, that's not part of golf. That's like saying winning the Triple Crown in baseball is the hardest thing to do. We're talking about the basic rudimentary parts of the game. Hitting a baseball, tackling a football player, shooting a basketball. Which of these are the hardest? And how should we determine what's the hardest thing? That's a big part of this question.
I think the way you determine... I don't know. This is my argument why always baseball is better than football, is because baseball is a thinking man's sport. You have to be able to think in every essence. You know, in football you have design plays. You know your set play. You don't know what pitch is coming. If you get an outside pitch, you got to go with it, try to hit it to the opposite field.
What about audibling in football? Which means, changing the play. Both the quarterback changes it, and then all the players have to change what they were going to do.
But they still have a set play then.
Okay, good answer. Well, here's some of the things the USA Today used. They took into account things like this. Team sports versus individual sports. Is there a difference there? Is it harder to be an individual with no one backing you up? Because what USA Today did was they had these discussions, and then they just sat around the table, thought about it, and came up with their list. So they didn't put all this information into a computer, for example.
Seems like it'd be harder working with a team because you're solely you are reliant. I mean, you know your abilities, but you're reliant upon other people to be on top of you have so many different moods and emotions and abilities rolled all in one, and you're hoping everyone's on the same, game face the day you play or whatever.
That's a great point. The counter argument to that, as USA Today wrote a couple weeks ago, is that in basketball or hockey, you can suck, but you have teammates to pick you back up. You have somebody who may pick up for your own inabilities, whereas, for example, in boxing, it's you and your guts totally on the line.
Yes, but I've heard you guys say how one person, although it's a team, can screw it up for the whole team.
Well, no, I understand that. But what I'm saying is the exact opposite of what you said is then the point I presented. And everybody has to decide what is more important. There are people who believe in team is harder or individuals harder. I'm just here to present all the different possibilities. What about how many different things it takes to do a particular sport? For example, multitasking, like the decathlon. 10 events.
Jeez.
Is that the hardest thing to do in sports? To be able to run and jump and throw and leap and...
See, I categorize that as that's a tough athletic competition. Each one of those events is a sport within itself.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put that in my top 5.
What about the danger factor? You're much more likely to be injured or killed playing football than you are bowling. What about NASCAR, driving a car? Should we factor in the risk of sport as well? Tough,
I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
But gut reaction would be no.
Hell, you're going to do that. You need rodeo. It's all got mountain climbing, all the extreme sports, much riskier than baseball, for example. Does that make them harder as part of the debate?
Well, now, does that, whatever that sport is it also the mental thing, like Arnie was mentioning in baseball? If it's like a combination of all those things, that would make it more difficult.
That would be another factor.
You have to worry about not only your life, but you mentally have to use your mind to, play that game. That's like a lot of pressure putting on your mind.
Yeah, but, look, Arnie's example is a good one of football versus baseball, but the fact is you still have to be able to think to play football. Every sport requires some mental capacity. It's just which one requires the most and how much weight are we going to put on it when it comes down to the hardest thing to do in sport. Golf, a lot of people talk about how golf is this intense mental game, and yet one of the secrets to golf is clearing your mind.
Exactly.
So where's the mental battle? You start talking about this stuff, what is the hardest thing to do in sports? It's an intriguing concept.
That would be hard to clear your mind.
Exactly.
That's that would not be an easy mental thing to do.
That's right. So let's see. So we agree hitting a baseball.
That's number one on my list.
What else is on our list here? Before I tell you USA Today's list.
I'll start with number 5. I only did 5. Throwing a spiral.
A spiral of a football. Very interesting.
Because, and I'm not talking about like a barely spiral. I'm talking about a tight spiral. The ball that it just circles, Dawn. It goes in, if you didn't know.
I did.
Because that's like the perfect pass.
Now, wouldn't you have to add in throwing a perfect spiral at your intended target? Because throwing a spiral, come on, anybody can do that. Throwing a tight spiral at its intended target at the right time.
I don't know if anybody can throw a spiral.
Come on. When we're talking about the hardest things to do in sports,
I can't throw a spiral.
Well, you're uncoordinated.
Thank you.
But I mean, we're talking about sports. I mean, the hardest thing. I mean, what good is throwing a spiral if it's not at your intended target? It has nothing to do with the completion of your goal.
Okay, I guess then at your target.
I mean, at least add in.
Okay.
I mean, I still don't have that on my list, but at least add in at your intended target. I mean, you can throw perfect spirals to the other team all day and, lose and be the worst player in the game.
Okay.
All right, what else we got?
Taking a punch in boxing.
Interesting. I have that on my list.
Just because, you put yourself in regular day, everyday thing, you get hit, you react, you're upset, you're pissed off, and you want to kill the guy.
Sure.
Boxers, they realize that they have to be able to take a punch to do their job.
By the way, throwing a spiral, is that your only football one that's on your list?
Yes.
Because my football one that I had on my list that when I talked to with friends, no one thought about was, what about tackling properly a 300-pound guy running at you, which is one of the worst things done in football. That was something I thought about. I just wrote it down. I don't know where I'd put on my rank of that. Nobody knows how to tackle in football anymore. That means maybe. Isn't that tough when you got a 300-pound guy, 250-pound guy with a ball running at you, going one way or the other?
You know what? I think that has gotten you said a key word there, anymore. Because there are too many showboats now playing football.
Okay.
And they're all worried about the big hit to make the highlight film.
All right. Now, phone number is 888-390-9850 for any of your suggestions, questions, entries. Hello, Gerald. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. Hey, I'm just wondering if anywhere in your list you have any sport, such as lacrosse included, any of the dangers that come with the game or the difficulties.
I personally don't, but so everybody's clear, when it comes to USA Today's list, they didn't bother with that whole debate of what is or isn't a sport. Since I know what's on here, anything you can imagine that's a physical activity may or may not have made their list. Lacrosse, anything field and track, bowling, anything like that. Because, what is or isn't a sport, we've had that debate how many times on this show. That's a whole nother article for them. Mm-hmm. So I don't have it. Do you have any track and field items?
No, I do not have any track and field items.
And you know what? Part of that might be my own ignorance. I have no idea if it's hard to throw a javelin or pole vault. I just...
It seems like it'd be hard.
Yeah, I just don't know, and I don't know in relation to other sports if it's hard. Anything else on yours?
I've got 2 more.
Okay.
I had dunking a basketball, but that gets away from the whole sports because not everybody can do that. I replaced it with playing water polo.
Wow.
Have you ever played water polo?
That is an interesting alternate sport type entry. I have never... Nah, not really. I mean, I've screwed around water polo.
Because, you have to be able to, palm the ball, first of all, a wet ball.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really touch the bottom of the pool. You have to be able to swim. And you have to throw this ball as hard as you can, and it skips off the water. So I put playing water polo.
Very open-minded entry on your part.
That's a lot of coordination going on there.
Hello, Andy. Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Hey, I was thinking what would be really tough is returning a 115-mile-an-hour serve in tennis.
Very difficult. I mean, that's how they hit it.
Yeah.
In professional tennis, it's that fast. I wrote that down. I don't know if it would make my list. I did write down returning to serve in tennis. And again, the way that USA Today means this is because a lot of people hear that and they go, well, they can all do that. That's not how they're debating it. They're saying, of course, everyone in baseball, quote unquote, can hit a round ball with a round bat, or else it wouldn't even be in major leagues. Is it the hardest thing to do in sports overall? And that's why I also wrote down making a goal in hockey.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
The damn net is so small, and then you've got this 300-pound lug who's right in front of it as well. I think in sports, that's one of the hardest things to be able to do.
And you're skating.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Hello.
Hi there, JD. Good morning.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, bud?
I have to say, surfing a 30-foot wave in the dead of winter.
Oh, you're adding in the wintertime.
my.
I think the wintertime you'd have to throw out because you start to add in these ridiculous elements. You know, that's like saying, like what Arnie did to me, and he's right. Hitting a baseball, period. It doesn't matter if it's 90 miles an hour or not. So we go back to surfing a wave. I've never tried. It looks hard. People fall all the time.
A lot of coordination needed.
Hello there, Ed. Good morning.
Hey, I'm thinking punt and return in football, which would almost be like taking a punch in boxing.
Well, now wait a minute. Punt returns, I mean, that's actually a pretty rudimentary, easy part of the game. You're catching a ball and running with it. And if you say punt return all the way to the end zone, now we're adding in like...
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, that's where a lot of rookie running backs go to start their careers.
Oh, yeah. Hello there, Jason. Good morning.
Morning. How you guys doing?
Great. How about you?
Not too bad. I would have to say almost anything requires a lot of accuracy, you know, whether it's golf and a hole-in-one or maybe I keep on coming back to baseball being one of the toughest sports in general. And laying out, running, catching that fly ball, you know, at the tip of your glove when you're just completely sprawled out is just one of the toughest things that you can pull off.
True. But again, to me, that's like saying hitting a hole-in-one in golf. Mm-hmm. Diving for a fly ball is not a rudimentary part of baseball. It's a spectacular play like a hole-in-one in golf is. And they're just talking about what is the hardest basic sport thing to do?
Number one, you know, is my hitting the round ball with a round bat. My number two is hitting a golf ball accurately.
Okay, that's on my list for sure.
Just because, and I threw the word in accurately because there are so many things you can do with a golf ball. You can make it go to the left, which is called a draw, or you can make it go to the right, which is called a fade. You can do that with your swing. Mm-hmm. Pulling it off is a whole different thing. Making the ball spin back.
Right.
Hitting out of sand accurately. Anybody can go into a sand trap with a club and hit the ball. Hitting it accurately out there is one of the toughest things to do.
I agree.
Okay, now, try not to make fun of me because I'm only speaking from something that I know about, but I really do not know in conjunction with the sports you're talking about.
Dawn?
The difficulty level. What?
Do you realize that whenever you say that...
I've set you up to do it.
It turns me up to number 11.
But, I mean, getting on a bull.
Getting on a bull?
I mean, riding the bull for 8 seconds.
Okay.
You know, or even doing, you know, bareback or saddle bronc. I mean, it takes a coordination, and you are having to rely upon, you know, an animal, and that you got...
Dangerous.
It's very dangerous, and you don't know what's going to happen when you fall. I mean, you're really reliant upon your own abilities, and then the abilities of the pickup men or the, you know, the clowns to keep you safe once you're off. And
I mean,
it's balance.
Based on the USA Today's criteria, that would absolutely be a reasonable entry into their list.
And shocking that Dawn brought up rodeo. The only thing she knows.
I don't know any other sports,
Hi there.
really.
Brett, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be pretty tough to kick a field goal in football.
Any monkey can kick a field goal.
Jesus,
That's why they make fun of field goal kickers.
Yeah, but they get people to try and do it. They win money, and they can never, like, they'll do little halftime shows or whatever.
Well, those people aren't foreigners, and foreigners are the best kickers.
Grammatica and Yepremian and
I mean,
is that his name?
bars.
Yeah. Come on. I'm sorry. Look, you know what? Anybody, I mean that, really. Anyone can kick a field goal. We used to do this crap as kids all the time. That's not really that impressive in the sports world. Am I wrong?
No.
Come on.
And you know those halftime shows that they do when they give those guys, like, if you were to throw somebody out there right away who's never kicked a ball before, sure, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be hard to do anything if you throw them out there.
Right.
They give those people like 4 days to practice, and I've seen people win $1 million.
Right. Remember that, again, you have to add it into the whole spectrum. A field goal kicker is already used to the pressure. He's already used to the crowd. When you take an amateur and put him out there to win $1 million from Gatorade, they stand little to no chance. But if you did it to them every week for 18 weeks, eventually they'd hit the field goal and prove. And look at how no team keeps a field goal kicker. No one cares. Mm-hmm. Hey, field goal kickers are a dime a dozen, short of the standout names like Morton Anderson. Come on. Field goal kickers.
He's German, by the way.
Hello
Morton
there.
Anderson.
Robert, good morning.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing excellent. Listen, I think Rob had a good point about tackling, but I think to make a clarification, an open field tackle is probably one of the most difficult things to do in football.
Yeah, when I was thinking about it, certainly what I was mentioning, although Arnie's point of how it's just not done properly anymore because of the showboating is also
I mean, everybody just wants to make a highlight thanks to Deion Sanders, a guy who's been quoted as one of the greatest football players of all time, which I totally disagree with because he did not know how to tackle.
Okay, of the 10 that made USA Today's list, you, me, the callers, we have mentioned 3 of them. So we're way off from their list. By the way, their top 10 hardest things to do in sports, no mention of basketball, no mention of football, no mention of hockey.
Really?
Okay. Brilliant. It's an interesting list, and I have the benefit of I've read their reasonings for each one. I don't agree with all of them, but pretty interesting. Number 10, 10th hardest thing to do in sports, skiing downhill at 90 miles an hour. Pretty tough.
And one of the dumbest things to do.
Well, now, wait a minute.
States. Oh, my gosh.
And people could say that about getting on a bull. I mean, it's dumb, but it is tough, right? I mean, I tried to ski. I hated it, so I never went further, but
I've only been on a snowboard, and going down a little bunny hill was kind of scary. So, I mean, skis and going down a major hill, and you're going 90 miles an hour.
Coordination.
Oh, my God.
Have to avoid other people. Weight balance. Danger, you can get an activity. Die. Well, yeah, but now, come on now. We're not debating sports versus activity.
It's hard when they do it like that. I know.
I know.
But I mean, those people that do that, they're athletic. Right? I mean, they are athletes that are doing this. I mean,
sure.
Are they talking about like, you're doing this for competition, or this is the Olympics?
Look, again.
Sorry.
They are saying basically any athletic activity is a sport for this purpose. The debate over what is or isn't a sport some other time is what they're just saying the hardest thing to do in sports, whether it's organized, recreational, in the Olympics, whether Arnie thinks it's a sport, okay? So, so in that context, open your mind and think skiing downhill 90 miles an hour sounds scary. I don't know if it's one of the 10 hardest, but sounds like it's worth at least considering.
Well, see, then you'd have to throw in hitting a hole-in-one. Just because they've made it so, not just skiing, but skiing at 90 miles an hour downhill.
Well, as I understand it, think professional. Okay, think in the realm of professional sport. The only way you can professionally ski, unless it's cross-country, which is a different type of skiing, is going downhill at 90 miles an hour. See?
Okay. I don't agree with that. I think that's really stupid.
Well, maybe because you probably never tried it and stuff. I mean, it's hard to comprehend things that you haven't, tried to really feel, how scary or difficult it is.
Hello there. Brian, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hey, Christopher Reeve couldn't kick a field goal.
Okay, you're right. When I said anybody could kick a field goal, I should have, put a caveat out there, a little disclaimer.
He could be the goalpost.
Okay, stop it. But why does he have to come up?
Well, because he had a good point. I said anyone could kick a field goal. And he just thought he would point out that, I was wrong there. That's one of my 2%. That is not true.
But don't tell Christopher Reeves that, because he'll do it then, mister.
All right. 10th hardest thing to do is skiing downhill. 9th hardest thing to do in sports, stopping a soccer penalty kick. This is where it's just you and the goalie, and you are kicking. You have total access to the goal, and the player kicks the goal, and the goalie has to guess which way is he going to kick. And you see this all the time. He zigs, should have zagged, ball goes through. Stopping a soccer penalty kick, hardest thing to do.
That's on the list, and
9th.
And there are no basketball things on the list.
What would be harder in basketball than stopping a soccer penalty kick?
I would say if you got a guy one-on-one with the guy.
So blocking a basketball shot?
Taking a guy one-on-one would be the same thing.
Is this really part of your hatred for soccer that's coming out here?
A little bit, but you said also there's no hockey, correct?
There is no hockey.
Why is the penalty shot in hockey not mentioned?
See, I would think that would be harder because you've got to skate, you're on ice, you've got a thing coming at you that's smaller than a soccer ball. See, I think making the penalty shot in hockey is harder than stopping it.
Oh, okay.
Because in soccer the goal is so goddamn big.
Yes.
Right. In hockey it's so small. That's why I put hockey on my list.
Okay. But see, that's where I just get lost there when they don't put anything like that on there, and they have stopping a penalty kick.
Okay.
Are they trying to get more foreign readers or something?
Oh, boy.
It may be that they just believe that's the 9th hardest thing.
They're wrong.
But you made a good point on how much bigger the goal is, and you're the one that has to stop it, and it's going at a fast speed. So if you don't run to where it's going quickly, because it's going so fast, it's going to make it.
Hello, Ryan. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. This topic's got me thinking about all the different sports, and the thing to consider is the physical dynamics of it. Say, hitting a round ball with a round bat, or putting into a size of the ball to the size of the cup. I'm thinking in basketball, shooting a three-pointer, the size of the ball versus the size of the rim. Those are the things that got to be considered when you're talking about the difficulty in sports.
Making a three-point shot in basketball?
Now, are we getting too specific there?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, you could put dunking a basketball on there.
Well, to me, as I try to figure out what USA Today's stipulations were here, making a three-point shot in basketball is part of the game legitimately, right? It's not an outstanding, once-in-a-lifetime thing like a hole-in-one in golf, okay? Just like, a soccer penalty kick, that's only part of the game. That doesn't happen all the time like a three-point shot. So I think three-point shot maybe is up for consideration.
Okay.
We already know it's not on the list because there's no basketball. So you got the first two. Skiing downhill 90 miles an hour and stopping a soccer penalty kick. We got to take a break. We'll come back with the top 8.
The best of Rob, Arnie, and Dawn.
What is the hardest thing to do in the sports world? Hello, Beth. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it my understanding that anything done professionally is a sport?
Yeah, the way the USA Today has done it is they've just said, all right, anything that's athletic or an activity of any kind that is professional is a sport.
Okay, then I say picking up a 7-10 split in bowling would be very hard.
Okay, now that's the two, on the very ends of the lanes. Can't be that hard. I've done it, yet I haven't bowled a 300 game.
Yeah,
so.
is that number one on your list?
I would think that would be a legitimate entry based on the way they've done it.
Damn, how do you do that? Do you basically have to hit the one pen and then you think it's going to force it to fly so hard the other, direction to get the other pen? Or
You've almost got it exactly right. Every split in bowling is all about hitting the pin at the angle to slide the pin over across the lane. The 7-10's different. The way to pick up a 7-10 is all about hitting one or the other, doesn't matter, square, hitting it dead on as hard as possible so that the pin bounces off the back of the lane, comes back out and hits the other pin. It's pure luck. The only skill, quite honestly, is throwing the ball hard and accurately. And one of the big jokes they make about me is I'm such a little guy, but I throw the ball harder than anyone in the league. I've got a very fast ball, and I've picked it up 4 or 5 times. Really.
That legitimately seems hard because you also have to make sure it doesn't end in the gutter.
Yeah, that's the
because you're right on the
part.
edge and stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't put it on my list.
Okay.
I thought that would be self-serving.
I did like I'm one of the hardest throwers in the league. I don't have a 300 game yet.
Hey, I admit that. I was just pointing out that's one of the big jokes around the league is how hard I throw the ball, along with the other big joke that I've never bowled a 300 game. Thank you. Hello there, Mark. Good morning.
Hey, what kind of, in the extreme sport world, like the Moto X, the jumping they do?
Yeah, no, all the extreme sports are up for grabs. Motocross, everything. They've got skiing on the list. That would certainly be a consideration. All right, this is USA Today's list. 10th was skiing downhill 90 miles an hour. 9th was stopping a soccer penalty kick. 8th, riding in the Tour de France. How long is that damn thing? Days and days and hundreds of miles.
God.
Good shape, stamina, a little danger when they do the mountain thing.
Sure.
It's riding a bike.
No, you're really going to hate number 7.
That is not easy.
No, I think they're being too specific. I think then the number one thing has to be hitting a hole-in-one in golf then. It has to be. If they're going to be that specific.
But
because why don't they just say riding in a bicycle race?
Well, because, again, they are thinking in the professional world, and they're saying the Tour de France. They're saying that one because of the grueling factor to it.
No, then playing the Augusta National Golf Course then.
Well,
okay. It's a grueling golf course.
But that certainly is not the hardest thing to do in golf. Anyone can play it.
Well, I'm just saying that they're getting too specific for things.
No, I disagree. I think they're I think they're consistent. I don't agree maybe with their list, but I don't think they're going off their stipulations yet.
No, relative to that sport. Totally makes sense.
Let's see. Number 7, is running a marathon. Same idea as the Tour de France.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do a marathon.
Well, not anybody.
If you train, you can do it.
Well.
Yeah, there's people that have never ran one in their life, and they do it, like, all that they finish.
But
you know what I mean? Like any Joe Schmo, they get people that have been on couches and have never exercised a day in their life, and they get them on a program and they finish.
All right. Okay.
So I mean, I think
nobody likes that one.
No, you know what? I would like it. No,
No.
you know when I would like it is if they got specific, like the Tour de France. Is there like a really difficult marathon that truly, if you were only like a Boston marathoner where you're finishing them in like 2.5 hours or some crap like that? You know what I mean?
Do you like that one?
They're not specifying. You know,
is there a specific marathon? Like the Boston Marathon.
That'd be pretty specific.
I don't know if that's the hardest one. You know, for people that like do that for a living.
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know. That one doesn't.
So,
in that one, it's kind of like running a marathon versus bicycling in the Tour de France.
Right.
Oh, okay, I see. That one's kind of lame. Okay, Arnie's really not going to like this one. Then. So we've got skiing downhill at 90 miles an hour, stopping a soccer penalty kick, riding the Tour de France, running a marathon. Number 6, landing a successful quad jump in figure skating. This is the jump up, spin around 4 times, land it, nail it.
Okay, that would be difficult.
They say it's the hardest thing to do in figure skating, so that
I can't use my argument just because it's so not a sport that I wouldn't even recognize this.
It never occurred to me because I don't recognize it, but with their giant umbrella. Skating is hard. We would establish landing on the blade is hard.
So now they're trying to get more female readers of this thing because this is a total chick thing.
Well, this one is hard for me too because figure skating.
No.
But I understand what they're saying in terms of physics. You've got to land on a blade. You've got to jump. You've got to spin 4 times around, and you've got to nail it on the way down. I mean. Hardest thing to do in figure skating. Is it one of the hardest thing to do in sports? I don't know. You break an ankle, there's injury involved, right? I mean,
definitely.
Your sexuality's involved too if you try it.
Hello, Justin. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Great.
Hey, what about knocking your opponent out in the first round of boxing?
Yeah, now Arnie, you said taking a punch.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I had the same one. I actually had the other. I had landing a knockout punch. So we both had boxing on the list. I mean, that's hard. Everything to me is involved in boxing.
Well, and they call it the sweet science for a reason because it's a science. I mean, you have to set your opponent up for that. You set him up with the jab to land, the hook.
Nothing from boxing is in their top 10.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, number 5, we did mention this one. A listener mentioned this. Returning a 130-mile-an-hour tennis serve, which apparently is the average speed of a men's tennis serve. Being able to return that successfully in the other court.
Jeez. I can see that.
Yeah. I kind of.
I mean, it would be like number 12 on my list. Just, I don't know.
I think that would be pretty difficult to hit something accurately back at a person for it to count without hitting it out of bounds when it's coming at you that fast.
Yeah. I mean, look, can we agree? I mean, look, if they're going to put that on the list, hitting a baseball better be ahead of it.
Oh, it should be,
I mean, because you've got a bigger racket.
And
it's a square racket hitting a round ball. I mean, this is all much easier in the physics level.
Mm-hmm. And that if you got to return it, it's going to be in a specific quadrant.
Right.
A baseball, you don't know where that baseball is going to be. A lot of times it's going to be down the middle or in the strike zone at you. It could be at your head. You don't want to dig in and the guy's throwing 90 miles an hour at your head.
Number 4. 4th hardest thing to do in sports, hitting a golf ball long and straight.
I can hit it long. The straight part, boy, I'm working on that. I've been working on that for 4 years now.
It is. It's very difficult. Long, of course, would be relative to the person hitting it as well. Long for Arnie is what, 300 yards? Well, that's even average for you. 320. Long for me is 250. So, but the straight part is the hard part.
Don't put yourself down. You hit the ball further than that.
I'm happy if it's 250. I mean, I've hit a few 260, hit one 280 once, but I'm happy at 250. I mean,
you hit one 300 once.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but that was helped by the wind and the bounce and the downhill.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I've never, and that hole, we're talking about a certain hole in the area. It's a downhill hole, and that's why I hit it over 300. Every time I go to that hole, I try to crunch it, and I hit it to the right. I can't even hit 100 yards straight.
There's other little guys in golf that they show that hit it that far.
Yes,
it doesn't have anything to do with your size.
They're much. Thank you.
Well, no, I mean,
You're right.
you're not little.
I appreciate that. Now you've basically told me my talent level in golf is so awful because there's other little guys who hit it, so it has nothing to do with size, Rob. Stop using that as an excuse. You just suck at golf is what you basically said. I appreciate that. I know that. I didn't need to point it out to me.
I didn't know I would say that. I was trying to make it an encouraging thing that you can do it.
No.
It's there.
I am not the little engine that could.
See, the hard part right there, long and straight, I think that the mental part of that comes in, too, because you're okay with being able to hit it only 240, 250 straight. Mm-hmm. I'm not. If I hit the ball 250 yards right down the middle, I'm not happy about that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell? Where's the other 30 to 40 yards?
Right.
So I think that's a big mental aspect right there, too, hitting it long and straight. Because, and like you said, you have to be okay with it. And I'm not okay with 250.
Top 3. Number 3, USA Today says third hardest thing in sports, pole vaulting. This is where you run with a pole in your hand. You put the pole into a hole, and then you fly up, holding onto the hole, let go of the pole, and go over like a 15-foot high thing, flipping over properly, and the pole can't hit the goalpost or whatever.
No hockey or basketball on this list, huh?
No. Or boxing.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Pole vaulting.
Come on. You got to have speed. You got to stay little. So you are training all the time, I would imagine. You have to have strength in your arms. You have to where you're not falling backward. You have to get that thing specifically in a spot where you actually make it over.
Agility.
I mean, come on. And that is definitely not something everyone can do. For sure. I mean,
she makes a good argument.
She makes a great argument, but I'm sorry,
Isn't this really about the fact that it's not a sport? We would eliminate half of these because they're not sports in our world, wouldn't we?
What's the good of it? I mean, where do you go around town? See, I look at this, too, as another thing. Marathons and bicycle races, you can see those happen anywhere. Golf courses, hitting it long and straight, see that happening. Tennis, they got tennis courts all around town. Where is the nearest pole vaulting arena? Can we go right down on Madison Avenue here in Sacramento and go pole vaulting at the pole vaulting park?
JJ, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Arnie?
Yes, sir.
Is it just your job to, insult every single person that you possibly can in the morning?
Are you a pole vaulter? Is that why you're upset at me?
Very good. Very good. I can't believe they actually pay you to do this. Check it out, man.
It's hard for us to believe every day, too. Believe me.
Check it out, Arnie. How many of these have you on this list have you actually attempted in your life?
You see, JJ, let me tell you why that's a lame argument. That's just like the old, you can't talk about parenting unless you have kids thing, and we have done that argument to death. If you are going to say that you cannot comment on the difficulty of each individual sport, so JJ, I would hope you've tried all these. I mean, that's just dumb.
Well, and I sure hope the guys that did this list are all, like professionals in everything they put on the list.
And Jesus, anyone would let Arnie attempt pole vaulting. That damn stick would snap. He'd come crashing down.
Rob!
Okay, you're right. He'd get winded before he got to the hole.
Rob!
Appreciate it.
Hello, Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I'm cracking up on at you guys. I'm a pole vaulting coach.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I vaulted all through high school. I understand. What was that?
No, go ahead.
I understand your argument that you don't think it's a sport, and I can see that, but I'd like to invite you guys out to a track meet to watch it sometime.
Oh, God, I am booked up.
Stop.
Oh, darn.
I'll come out and watch. I think that's an amazing thing to do. How do you train for that?
It's one of the toughest things to train for because it's like such full body strength.
Yeah, it seems like it would be.
Yeah, you need total full ab, like the ab because you pull midair, and then total upper body strength along with speed on the runway. so you have to be able to sprint pretty fast.
And you have to have nothing else to do in life.
Stop it, Arnie. Seriously, the training they must have to go through.
Wow, and hey,
That's
now,
awesome.
Hey, she's a coach.
Sorry, but no.
Okay, you know what? I don't know, and I wouldn't even try because you two know way more about sports than me. I mean, I think you need to be an athlete to be able to do that. Now, whether it's a sport that you're involved in, fine.
Knock,
there?
No!
Hello, John. Good morning.
Hey, guys. I think you guys will appreciate this, but I got the absolute hardest to do in sports.
Okay.
Nothing else tops it. Okay? I think it's for those damn Raiders to win another Super Bowl title, Don.
So, your top 10. Here we go. USA Today. Skiing downhill, 90 miles an hour.
Never tried it.
Right. Stopping a soccer penalty kick.
Never tried it.
Riding the Tour de France.
Never tried it.
Running a marathon.
Never tried it.
Landing a quad in figure skating.
I'm a man.
Returning a 130-mile-an-hour tennis serve.
Never played with anybody that good.
Hitting a golf ball long and straight.
Done it.
Number 3, pole vaulting at heights of 15 feet plus.
God, no.
Number 2, driving a race car at mega speeds around a track. The NASCAR angle. Well, they're also throwing in all racing, but, a lot of people say NASCAR is the hardest sport in the world because of that. You got the torque, you got the car working against you, you got to rely on, you got other people and they're dangerous drivers, you got walls you can flip over, jump.
You got to rely on your crew that they put tires on properly when you stop because they're also under pressure to get it done fast.
It's pretty tough.
Tough, but number 2?
No, I think it would probably, if we got rid of, if we did our list and we got rid of all non-sports, okay, and we only included sports, which we have agreed NASCAR is a sport, I think it would be in my top 10.
I don't even know if I could put it in the top 10, really. I mean, I love NASCAR. I don't think I could put it in there.
Don't you also have to, away from the car, training for that, like be in, I don't know, actually, don't you have to be in some kind of physical shape? Because doesn't it go against you if you sit in there and you're like really big and fat or something? Don't you? I mean, along with everything else you have to
Why'd you look
think
over
about.
here?
I did not.
It takes a lot more strength than people think to control a car at that speed. And, of course, the more you weigh, the more your car has to work. You don't want to put a 400-pound man in a car that the whole point is to go fast. That's why sports cars are so light. That's the idea. Less weight, the better. The hardest thing to do in sports, according to USA Today, hitting a baseball. At least they got that right.
Thank God.
At least that one.
Hey, caller, I've done that one.
So you can only comment on 2 of them, I guess.
Yeah.
The baseball and the golf ball are the only 2. So there's your top 10, according to the USA Today. So
what a crappy list.
So you would take out, let's see, would you leave in the tennis serve? Would you leave that?
You know what? I'd put that at number 10.
Okay.
I'd leave that one.
You'd get rid of skiing?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, come on.
Now, and are we also eliminating non-sports
as
we do this?
Guys,
okay.
you got to leave that pole vaulting. You need to come on.
Can you let me do one at a time?
Yes.
When you have an objection to pole vaulting, maybe when I bring up pole vaulting would be the time. Skiing's out, right? All right.
Yes.
Soccer penalty kick?
God, yes.
Not a sport.
You got
Riding in the Tour de France?
Out.
Is that even a sport? No.
I think cycling. Yeah, I think I would give cycling the sport nod barely.
Yeah, jeez.
That'd be like 22nd on the list.
Jeez.
What you say?
Running a marathon?
No.
Out. Landing a quad? Oh, Jesus.
No.
Figure skating. Give me a break.
Guys.
No.
Returning the tennis serve, we're leaving for now. Hitting a golf ball long and straight, of course. Pole vaulting, not a sport.
Gone.
It's not a sport.
But you've got to be quite an athlete
Well,
to do it.
When we do the 10 hardest athletic things to do, we can reconsider it.
Yeah, and I won't be here that day.
Track and field is a sport.
No,
it
it's
was
not.
in high school.
It's not a sport. When we've had our discussions on what is or isn't a sport, track and field has never made the list. It is not a sport.
Okay, if track and field, then pick either pole vaulting or running a marathon.
Yeah, they've got 2 track and field things up there.
Pole vaulting.
Where's the shot put? What about the hammer throw? What about the high jump where
Long
you don't
jump.
have a stick?
Hello? It's just
You got
dumb.
all these crappy events, the triple jump, the 5 by 100 meter relay.
Track and field is called recess, all right?
It is not. You have to have athletic. These people that do it hardcore for a living.
It's not a
Come
sport.
on.
It's an athletic activity. And when they do that top 10 list, we can add in some sailing things, too, and it'll be a wonderful day.